G'day mate, haven't had brick yet, so might go on a Macca's run soon. More shit. In all seriousness, you can just call me Stent, and welcome to the Tasmanian Tiger 2, Bush Rescue. I'm expecting there's gonna be some problems playing this through OBS, because I'm fairly certain the original game did, but we'll just see how we fare. I'll just give it a little bit, see if it actually works on the stream, because it doesn't really like me alt-tabbing, and there we go, it seems to be going alright. I've decided that I wanted to stream this game, at the very least at some point during 2024, because as you can see, by the little corner there, this game came out in 2004. This game is 20 years old, and I still remember when I got it. I'll get into that first. Let's just jump right into a new game. As you can see, I've gone through this a couple of times, both on the normal mode and the hardcore mode, which, hardcore mode, you have only one life. I think for this, we're just gonna go for normal mode, as, honestly, hardcore mode isn't actually all that difficult in this game. Well, let's just get right into it. Uses an autosave feature, wow. Something that Sonic 06 did not. But yeah, I still remember the day I actually got this game. Well, not the day specifically, I just remember not actually knowing this game was out until I found it out in the wild, in an Asda. And obviously, considering I liked the original game, I figured, oh, you know, I may as well just pick this up. The back of the box showed Ty in a mech suit. Unfortunately, we don't get any fancy FMV cutscenes here, but we do get this rather action-packed cutscene of just going over a waterfall.
You took your time. The little country town of Karawong is under attack. What nut would want to do this?
The local security is in the thick of it.
Ah, miss his Australian accents.
Oh, this is shocker out there. Frills have breached the Northern River.
Wow, Sly, you sound nothing like you did in the first game. This is like one of the most overt voice act. That was like one of the most overt voice acted changes I've ever heard in a video game up to that point.
What are you doing?
What is this? It's a game that I played as a kid. So, unfortunately, we don't have any of our boomerangs from the previous game. All we have is just our standard boomerang and our bite, with that same stock crunching sound effect. I'm gonna go through as commentating as best I can. I never realized that ice cream that actually stopped. Where are you going? Okay, actually, I didn't know it actually stopped right before the massive crater in the road. I want to imagine we'll, well, I kind of dread to imagine what exactly caused that. Yeah, that'd probably do it. Yeah, quite the globe compared to the previous game. We had this nice sort of safe intro, just getting introduced to everything, having to go on this collectathon quest to save your family, over in nice comfy rainbow cliffs. Here, you're just stuck in the middle of it. And you may have noticed, if you paid attention to when I streamed last game, the frills now drop opals. This is one of the nicer aspects of the Thai games going forward. The opals are now no longer collectibles, but currency. As you can tell by the nondescript currency sign right next to them. Anyways, we may as well help out this poor fella who's getting beaten up by all these lizards.
That's the last of the frills, Possum.
The fire's out. Let's go.
Yeah, it's nice to see that same wall of fire effect from the first game. Graphics-wise, I don't think this has actually improved all that much from the first game, though considering it's the same hardware and not 100% surprised. But obviously, considering this is the HD version, there are notable differences, such as the lighting most particularly. Does this game still get more sequels? I mean, Suppose it depends on who you ask. There was the 4th game, which was previously only available on Windows. Oh, hey, it's Neddy from the first game, except I guess they brought his mates along. Kind of weirdly enough, those aren't exactly very common enemies throughout the rest of the game. They're just sort of thrown in here, and you think, oh, they're just going to be a big, heavy-hitting enemy that we run into later on, but I guess not really. So there's technically 4 tie games. I've heard mixed things about there potentially being a 5th, though I'm not exactly holding my breath. Well, I suppose we have to go down into here.
Awesome. We have to get to the other side of the bridge.
I mean, I could still glide, but oh yeah, we finally get to use the mech suits. Is this the original or the It's the remaster. I figured it would be best to go into this, because as far as I'm aware, this is effectively the definitive version of the game at this point. As it has a nice swathe of quality of life features added to it compared to the original from 2004. Not exactly making good on my whole wanting to stream more GameCube games though. Probably gonna have to look a little bit more into that, but let's get into the bunyip. You don't throw you swap throwing rangs for throwing hands with this thing. Yeah, you just punch. My first thought immediately is just that one Lego Sonic set where it just has Knuckles in a mech suit for some reason. It reminded me a lot of this. As it's also a big red mech suit which you use to punch stuff. And ground pound, for good measure. Wow. Only needed 1 punch for that. As you can probably tell, I still have my cold from yesterday. I feel it's starting to get to the tail end of it, but you may hear still more phlegmy noises. You know what, I kind of want to just beat up some more frills over here, get as many opals as I can, because we're going to need them. We're going to need them. More than you think. I do kind of feel bad for all these frill lizards, though. You just wade through them like, with basically 0 effort. Really, all you have to do is just run around just mashing the punch button. How come Tie-Free is not on PS5? I don't know. It's still technically classified as early access on Steam, so not 100% sure what's going on with that. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch more opals over here, I just noticed. It's super weird to me. There's all these hidden areas throughout this stage. Oh yeah, and opals come in bags now. Nice. This is a nice little family of wallabies just here alongside this this house next to these old barracks. Don't like the look of that sky. When was this game made? It came out in 2004. It's 20 years old this previous year. Okay, you can... Okay, it only takes 1 punch to open the gates. Gotcha. You gotta say though, the setting feels radically different compared to the first game, where sure you had 1 giant robot, but now there's just mechs everywhere, firing lasers and explosions. It's even back in the day, I thought it was a bit much.
There's a battle mortar in the old barracks. It's the only thing that can defend the ground troops from those demon fluffies. I'm there. You little beauty.
I'm guessing he's alright. But yeah, demon fluffies. In the first game there was only 1 fluffy, which looked sort of like that, only without the punk era flame pattern. So I guess we just have multiples of these demon fluffies. Alright, let's just go in here. Punch our way through all this bricks and mortar stuff. I kind of feel bad for whoever has to rebuild all this. But then again, it's considering it's the old barracks, I'm guessing it's due for a renovation. I'm guessing this was supposed to be a bathroom at some point. The third game comes out, it'll be called the Tide Collection. Yeah, it's kind of strange that they haven't really done anything with the third game still. It is technically on Steam. Anyways, yeah, we got a shooter section. I just sworn there was a... There we go, there's a zoom function, and we just... control it with specifically just the right stick, and then just shoot like you normally would in a shooter game. I get that there were various mini-games in the first game, but... even as a kid, I wasn't really anticipating anything like this. Okay, dropship's mostly just here to throw you off from what I recall. Get over here, you. I think they only require one hit. There we go. Okay, so you can use either of the triggers or just the regular throw button. So I guess that's nice. I can't tell if I'm actually hitting it or not, or if it's just going on the invisible wall. Alright, just... I can't bomb the hell out of you without getting closer. There we go. Also, hope you enjoy this, because this is only one of 2 instances you actually use this mechanic in the game. And it feels baffling in hindsight to me, just... like, you got this cool set piece, and then you only do it one other time. Okay, as it goes on, it gets a little bit more tricky, as you got more dropships just bombing you, because that's what dropships are clearly known for. Dropping paratroopers and dropping bombs, apparently. Nice at the very least they were polite enough to actually provide a radar.
That's taking care of those demon fluffies.
Including the one that was right behind me for some reason. Mech suit kinda has Knuckles colors, that's what I thought. Oh, and she's back, now supporting a mech suit of her own.
Shivers! Fluffy, that gate leads to the old jail.
Where Boss Cass is being held prisoner.
It's been a diversion for a jailbreak.
Not if I can help it. I'll take
Hell of a lot of resources to go for into a jailbreak, huh? Alright, may as well just... and they even have these mechanical crabs to go along with it as well. Just how much money went into developing all these robots?
Well, well, well. The little has come out to play.
I know what you're up to and you're not gonna
I love that the tie just pilots his battle bunyip with basically motorcycle handles. It really is like that one Lego Knuckles set where it doesn't make sense when you really think about it, but it still looks kind of neat, I guess. Get out of my way. I have no idea where Fluffy was storing all those mines, by the way. Ooh. Get off of me. I kind of want to hang back a little bit and just try and get as many opals as I can. Because we're gonna need them later. Those weren't really kidding when they said old barracks, huh? Get off of me. And of course we still have the dunnies from the first game. Basically just a lot of stuff from the first game.
You're hanging around like a bad smell.
Whoa.
right there.
Kinda weird that she just went for just throwing the iron bar at us as opposed to just the thousands of mines she has in her back pocket.
I'm not gonna let you break Cass free.
Oh yeah? You and whose army?
I don't need an army.
I think you're going to now.
Oh. And we get the new big enemy this game. The Uberfrills.
Enjoy your meal.
Who I'm fairly certain are more established later on in the game. I kind of feel that these things were introduced a little bit too early for when they're properly established. Okay, that's kind of neat. She actually blocks your attacks. Yeah, I may as well just beat these guys up in order to get more delicious opals. It's like there is a scene later on in the game which establishes these things getting created and getting christened, I suppose. It's kind of weird to see them here at the start of the game before they're properly established. You'd think that people would have taken notice, like, hey, how come Fluffy's just running around with just these souped up looking lizards? It's kind of weird. White tie wear shirt in the first game. I suppose because it's helped make him look more cool and edgy. And oh no! Ken, what were you planning on actually doing?
Thanks, mate. I thought I was a goner.
Nice to see Duke there just completely motionless.
At last, I'm free.
Not if I can help it.
Yeah, I could just run over and punch you right now.
As usual, Ty, your pathetic
I can still run over and punch you.
way.
Toodles time.
So long, the loser.
Okay.
Ty, what happened?
Cass got away.
You did the best you could, Possum.
Yeah, mate. Wasn't for you, I would have been dead meat.
I could have done better. Next time, I'll be ready.
Also a notable voice actor change for Ranger Ken, who I think has a different VA for every single one of the games.
And it is with great pride that I give this ribbon and
And of course, Dennis appoints himself leader.
Bush Rescue. It's a state-of-the-art facility with an observation tower, research lab, airstrip, and advanced headquarters.
It's literally a shed with some corrugated iron.
That's you, Possum.
Oh yeah, it's the Krome Studios logo at least at one point.
On ya, mate. Dennis, you won't regret this. With Bush Rescue, we're ready to take on Boss Cass the next time he strikes.
Well, it's not going to be that easy, I'm afraid.
Why not?
I've just got word that Cass has set up his own country just so he can have diplomatic immunity.
You mean it's an immunity community?
That's stinker.
Diplomatic what?
Jermaine Locke, that one movie? What was it, Lethal Boomerang 2?
Cass and his diplomats are above the law as long as they're here on official Cassopolis business.
They can double park, open other people's mail, and leave the milk out.
Ah yes, such heinous crimes as leaving the milk out.
Important for us to
I love
find
that
out what
line.
his plans are and catch him in the act.
Well, there's no time to stand around gasbagging.
Alright, to action I suppose.
The local council has been complaining about
Crocs in this. Of course there's crocodiles in the sewers. It's Australia.
to sort it out.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a change up from the first game. As opposed to the standard Mario 64 collectathon affair, we get a GTA-style mission system where you have all these various tasks that you can complete before the next boss/section. We'll just see how much we can get done in about 2 hours. I think at the very least we'll stop once we get past the first boss, if we get to that. Just want to quickly run around and gather up as many opals and collectibles as possible. I do have a lot of fond memories just running around this little hub here. There's, of course, we have bilbies. They're just sort of here. Let's say, one little complaint I remember having about the original version of this game when it came out, the fact that a lot of the collectibles compared to, say, the first game didn't really do anything. We got the picture frames, obviously, the concept art. I don't know, maybe it's because I've been playing other games, camera feels oddly sensitive. Maybe it's just me. Oh yeah, and the infrarang, which is more useful because it's not just used for invisible crates containing concept art. Here you can see weird platforms. Should be a Ty and Sonic crossover. I mean, there technically was one, that one commercial from the first game where Ty somehow has Sonic, Crash, and Spyro in the emergency room. Didn't even realize Sonic was in that commercial at first. Just thought, hey, Ty kinda looks like Sonic. May as well give this game a go. Same reason how I actually got into Klonoa, to be perfectly honest. So Sly suddenly became a good guy. I mean, he sort of had a redemption at the end of the first game, when we copied that one scene from Adventure 2 where he was about to fall into lava. Also, as opposed to golden cogs, here we have platinum cogs. Ooh. Did you know that it was only due to the generosity of backers like Dan and the game that it managed to increase the resolution of Ty's visual perception? Ah yes, this is a thing with the Kickstarter. There was a Kickstarter to get this game ported to more recent consoles, I should say. And the person who gave the most money, which I think was like $1,500 dues or something, got into the game. And other backers got their own art to go into the credits as well. Along with a whole bunch of other goodies, like a statuette of the Battle Bunyip. Looked pretty cool. Okay, may as well go over here. I think this is our first mission, the tutorial.
Hello?
Riveting.
Crikey! You're a frill lizard. What are you doing here?
What does it look like? I'm working, mate. Not all lizards are bad, you know.
You're racist.
My name's Sneath, and me mate over there's Keith.
G'day.
I just noticed he's actually wearing a hairnet, despite not having any hair.
Either way, I'm usually up to my elbows in grease.
Righto.
I also take care of the bush rescue training program. If you want
I mean, I can only guess it's mostly just for shedding scales, but even in that sense, I'm pretty sure he's gonna need more than a hairnet to catch all those. Must be the closest thing this place actually gets to snow. It's probably why we actually got snow in the previous game. It was mostly just him shedding scales.
First thing you need to know is how to
Because there are no snow areas in this game.
You can do that by using the right analog stick. Just push
Right
it over
analog
right
stick.
to spin the camera around.
and you can move the camera distance in and out.
Yeah, this is just the same as the tutorial from 2 Up, from the first game.
Did you know that you can tailor the camera to your liking? You can change this through the options menu.
They got that feature in already.
They got that feature in.
1960 game, where a single flustered cameraman on a unicycle covered the whole event.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he was talking about the Olympics there. I never really got that as a kid, though, going back to Tokyo 1964. Yeah, I could kind of see it. Also, yeah, we don't get Murray coming up to all these signs in order to explain the game to us. Instead, we just go up to him and get this nice little pop-up from Julius. A little bit more to the point, I suppose.
You can use those legs of yours to jump. It's easy, really. Press the jump button to get some air. Just like Jess, the jumping Joey from Jabalooka.
Oh, yeah, get used to this alliteration, by the way. I mean, most of the moveset we already figured out from the first mission.
Before you had your ranks, mate, you had a set of pearly white choppers.
I suppose we didn't necessarily need to use the bites throughout the first section.
Just like Starkey, the snub-nosed shark from Strathpine.
Here's how you can use them to bite things. Just press the bite button when you're near crates or bad guys.
Fair enough. And, as luck would have it, we've got some crates right here.
How
Why don't you have a go at
convenient.
buying 'em?
Yeah, I kind of wonder whether or not most of the places they're talking about are actually real. I mean, I'm sure there are, just, would be interesting to know exactly where they are from.
Should come in handy. See these floating
I just noticed as well, Keith's overalls very reminiscent of a certain plumber.
Your bites together, just like Billy, the chain-biting Bilby from Bruna.
Righto.
Beauty is, you can chain bite your way up to hard-to-reach places. Why don't you give it a go?
Yep, again, just the exact same as how it worked in the first game. Except it feels a lot more fluid here, I think, at least compared to how it was when I played this on on the original console version.
Use those two rangs of yours as makeshift wings? That's right. You can hold them out and use them to glide across wide gaps.
All you have to do is press the jump button. And when you're in
Kind of built like yeah, I can kind of see it.
Glide through the sky like Glenn the gliding goose from Glen Iris.
Yeah, I think they might be reaching for some of these. Just as I'm reaching for how exactly this works. It's like you thought Knuckles' gliding was... didn't make much sense considering he used his dreads to catch air. Have a look at this! I mean, granted it's not as effective as Knuckles' gliding, but... works all the same.
Looky here. Some water. Just like a big bath. But you wouldn't know what that is, would you, Keith?
I love how he's still holding the spatula out here.
We'll teach you how to swim in the water. It's easy, really.
When you're in the drink, press the bite button to dive, then tap the jump button to start swimming.
I guess thankfully, you don't get the you don't start off with the doggy paddle like you did in the first game. Also, nice little tidbit here. They actually fixed the aquarangs in the original game on the GameCube at least. The aquarangs use the same model as the boomerangs, which always bugged me as a kid. Here they're actually fixed.
You can swim
Feel better about that cold?
Time to learn
Yeah,
how
I'm
to
getting
dive.
there.
All you have to do
I reckon I should be over it by next week.
Then press the bite button to do a dive. I reckon you'll take to it like Dave the diving duck from Darwin.
Hopefully get better soon. Thanks. I appreciate the support. Which I suppose I may as well talk about it. I wasn't actually anticipating that I'd actually get to 400 subs by the end of the year. I know it's kind of a minuscule amount compared to some of the giants on this platform, but the fact that there's still 411 people willing to put up with my usually incoherent ramblings, it means a lot to me.
There are some places that are too high to jump up.
In some of these places, you might find a bunch of vines, or even a ladder.
Like this one here.
Anyways, just walk into them to start climbing. Easy, eh?
If you want to get off, just press the jump button. I reckon you'll be as good a climber as Matt the Mountaineering Magpie. He's from Maroochydore.
Of course, you got to get another one in there. Then again, I can understand that there's only really two reasons why you stop by my streams. It's the same two reasons people like Lanolin the Sheep so much.
See that target way up there?
If you hold down Ty's view button, you'll get a ring's eye view of the place. You can throw your rings with greater accuracy this way. Why don't you give it a go now?
Yep, hopefully I set this up correct. Yeah, there we go. That feels a little bit more natural to me, though, sort of noticing a little bit of dead zoning here. At least I think that's dead zoning. Anyways, let's go for this exact same door from the end of the first game.
Careful, mate. There's a big drop just ahead.
You know how we taught you to glide across gaps, right? Well, if you ever jump off a cliff, you can reach the bottom safely by gliding.
Yeah, mate, go on. Jump off.
Yeah, mate, just jump off this cliff. Must be wild just how many people they actually put from this training course, only at the end for them to go on, just jump off this cliff right here, you'll be fine. You know, just jump, do a flip. I mean, it's lucky I could just do this all the way. Okay.
Find useful when you're up against Cass's goons.
Oh, they said goons. They said the funny word.
Lock onto a bad guy and always hit him with your rings.
When you see a bad guy, press the lock-on button. While you hold the button down, you'll always face your foe.
When you throw your ring, it'll head right for him no matter which way you run him.
Have a go on this fella here.
Oh yes, the lock-on right here. I always prefer the lock-on in this game over the first game, mostly because okay, I guess we're just skipping that. I always thought the lock-on had a fair bit more, better feedback compared to the first game, where you actually have a reticle. No, there was no alliteration there, but yeah, they were just telling us how all new to this game is rail grinding. I wonder where they got the idea for this from. It's a completely original concept to a 3D platformer. I've definitely never seen this before in any games which were recent at the time of this game's release.
Well done, mate. You've learned just about every bush rescue trick in the book.
I've got
Alright.
an interesting job for you, mate. Julius needs you at the Gunna training grounds.
Gunna training grounds. I do quite like a lot of the names they come up with for a lot of places, like Gunna, Pippi Beach. I just noticed that you can actually sort of see the invisible crates in here. And it's subtle, but the effect is at the very least notable. Also, before we head on out, I kind of wanted to see if I can clear out as much as I can in terms of collectibles. Obviously, we can't get everything because we've only just started and don't have all the necessary rangs, but excuse me. I would, at the very least, like to attempt. Because I'm fairly certain there's still a fair bit of good stuff around here you can get. Also, yeah. That's not a collectible, weirdly enough, despite how shiny it looks. I remember specifically there's supposed to be a Bilby somewhere around here. There he is, I see him. Oh yeah, apparently you can just stop in midair while gliding. Have fun figuring out how that works. I think first and foremost, though, I'm obviously gonna see if I can grab as much Munty as I can, as we're gonna need it. Again, I can only apologize, just... I'm not too fussed about the cold, though. It's just a little bit annoying, even if it is, at this point, a little bit of a Christmas tradition for me. Just getting colds at the end of the year goes hand in hand with too much chocolate, indigestion tablets, Christmas TV specials, The Good Show, I think that was called. Actually, can I reach that just by gliding? Let me check. Also, yeah, there's another collectible over there, which I don't think we can get yet because I think we need the Frosty rank for that in order to create ice cubes in water. Yeah, no, I don't think I can make it up there quite yet. Unless... I'm definitely taking that as unintended by the developer. Oh, I can't get that one just yet. No matter though, I think we've done all we can here for the time being, so we're just gonna move on. I do quite like the music for this particular hub as well. A little bit more upbeat and more of a tempo to it compared to Rainbow Cliffs, which is just chill incarnate, but I do feel it kind of has that similar vibe. I keep saying vibe. Also gives a sense that there's more of an adventure afoot. Anyways. Let's head into this suspicious-looking tunnel. Of course, originally in the base game, tunnels like these were everywhere, basically acting as loading zones. Which kept you occupied by having a whole bunch of fire hydrants that spat out opals and crates to go along with them. And here we are in Butteramachi Tan with the most relaxed music I've ever heard. The red gems you collect are opals. You can use them to buy the things. May as well go into the rank shop, which, well, I suppose was kind of weird that it's in the shape of an arrow. Anyways, let's go in. Rank shop. One thing I do definitely appreciate compared to the original release is the increase in presentation, where you didn't have all these signs that pop up for different areas. It was more sort of minimalistic. But if we go in here, hey, Ty's parents are here and they're alive. Yeah. Okay, I think first and foremost I want to get the infrarang. I remember that sort of being a go-to because, of course, like in the first game, you can use this to see invisible things. And there was also this neat little sonar effect to it, which I think was supposed to be in the first game as well. At least it wasn't the switchboards. Wanna run? I just feel tempted right now to just run around and grab as much opals as I can. Because you're gonna need a lot of opals, and at this point there isn't really much in the way of getting a lot of them. So just take what you can get. It's the mantra of a Sonic fan, take what you can get. Let's see what you're up to, Sheriff. Sergeant Bluey.
Now we have it on good authority that a spy is feeding information back to Cass, allowing him to cause trouble around town.
Yes, to avoid detection, this bounder is using a disguisatron.
Didn't you invent that, Julius?
Oh.
Yes, but that evil Cass has started producing cheap imitations in one of
Cheap
the
imitations in his sweatshops. Ah, yes. I suppose.
When you're armed with the right rang, the spy should stand out.
I suppose that's Cass being this sort of Robotnik-esque figure, being this personification of all things evil, would go for sort of Chinese-esque business practices. But yeah, the big thing here, of course, is we got some imposters, which we're going to need to route out eventually. Which, of course, you need the infrarang to do so. Also, nice little thing about the infrarang. It also has a longer range compared to most boomerangs in the game. Basically, they just consolidated the infrarang and the zoomerang into one boomerang, so it has multiple uses. And here's another one of these weird, particular-looking collectibles, chromium orbs. These did have a function in the base game, and they're an entirely new collectible to the series. Obviously based on the Krome Studios logo. Just want to try and get as many opals as I can. Also, fun little fact here about this particular upper area of Butteramachi I'm in. Technically in the base game you couldn't glide over here like I did. Originally there was just a big fence blocking off everything. Which is sort of why that chromium orb was weirdly out in the open like that. There was a big fence here to disguise the fact that they couldn't properly load it in, I think. And over there is just another tunnel which leads to a load zone, which is how you actually get up here. I still have no idea what this thing is. I think it's a monkey. With angel wings. Angel wings that work. I'm gonna go. And people think I look oddly strange. Basically Sonic with boomerangs. Sort of. Also sort of weird effect here, where as you move forward, the trees sort of grow bigger. Kind of reminds me of the Distortion World in Pokemon Platinum, where you have those spike trees that just rise out of the ground all unnervingly. And of course, staple spooky area of video game. This area is why I decided to pick out the Infra rank, because there's a particular mission up here for which you need them. First and foremost, we had a mission here. I'll get to that in a bit. Missions. Tree rescue. Find Booney. From the first game. He's gone walkabout again. His cute little hat, which he didn't have in the first game.
Mum, don't you? Sometimes. It's okay, mate. Your dad's worried sick about
Wait.
you. How about we
Sheila... Does this mean that Sheila's dead?
Okay.
I never actually caught on to this in the first place. Is this insinuating that Sheila from the first game is dead?
That needs disposal. What? They want you to do it.
I mean... I suppose I would explain why Booney's here in this graveyard, but... There's no real mention of Booney's dad in the previous game. This is entirely new territory to me. I'm kind of... unnerved. Like, how did I not pick up on the fact that Sheila is dead? I mean, I don't recall seeing her at all in the third game either. So I mean, she seemed perfectly fine in the first game. I'm not entirely certain what happened. It's this whole thing is strange to me, but yeah, I wanted to come up here a little bit, which to this area, which looks a little bit more sunny compared to down there. Also, let me switch to the boomerang real quick. That's a cool JPEG. Like, yeah, no one's gonna notice that, mate. Just leave it as is. Look, who cares? It looks like something out of the Game Boy Advance. No one's gonna come up here more than once anyway. It's fine. Anyway, let's talk to Clarence here.
Yikes! Oh my goodness, you startled me.
Very fruity looking Clarence in his sailor's uniform.
Well, yes, I am. People call me Clarence.
So, what are you doing all the way up here by yourself, Clary?
I love how Ty immediately just goes to Clary.
The grounds of gruesome bottom manor. The famous
Spooky.
Baramagi haunted mansion.
Haunted? You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Of course I do. Some of my best friends are ghosts. They're quite friendly, actually. But there's one ghost who's really mean and won't let me in.
Oh yes, he's definitely a ghost, not just a frill lizard covered in rags.
Thanks a lot, Ty.
Right, and here's the funny thing, where I'm fairly certain in the base game this was a little bit easier because you didn't have all this visual noise. Whereas yeah, you go in here at first and all the ghosts are pretty hostile. Alright, that's a normal ghost. All these are normal ghosts. I think our imposter is over here somewhere. You. Kind of weird that they're all cats as well, I've just noticed. There we go, that did it. And now all the ghosts are happy that the imposter is gone. Kind of weird that they couldn't really do anything about it. If they could harm me, they could certainly harm it. And of course all the spooky music is gone as well.
Yay, Ty, you did it.
I did it.
All real chums are happy that you got rid of that pretend poltergeist. He didn't
Well, I suppose it counts with the territory, mate.
against you.
Yeah, you better be. I want to see if I can get up here by gliding, actually. Hold up. I can do it! I think there was a button at the back of the mansion around here somewhere. There we go. Not sure if this... Let's see what this switch does. Okay, it miraculously spawns this platform out of the ground. Good to know. Just... It's spooky, it just appeared out of nowhere. I was gonna need this to grab myself another platinum cog. Lovely. I never got just how many opals you can grab up here as well. It's gonna be very useful for later on. I never actually noticed you could still see into the town from here. I'm not sure if that was the case in the base game. It just goes to show you the power of the PC compared to the GameCube, where it can load in all this massive map with no load instances. It's the miracle of technology, where even in a game like this, you can still just, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, there was another platinum cog up there, which I'm fairly certain is one of the more notorious ones to get from my knowledge, but... Oh my god, they have a ginger beer factory.
Hey there, Ty.
Amazing. I'm gonna say that, I do want a ginger beer now. Just wanted to see if I could get up there for a second. I guess not. Oh yeah, there was supposedly some invisible crates here as well. May as well grab these. Lovely. Yeah, I think we're gonna need another particular boomerang in order to get that platinum cog, unfortunately. So we may as well just go down into lower Barmudge and see what's what. I don't think we've been in here recently yet. Trader Bob's. Trader Bob's General Store. Much like Trader Joe. Yeah. This is where you spend all your platinum cogs, because of course, in the base game, vanilla game, original release, they didn't really serve a purpose. Here, you can use them as currency for cosmetics. For instance, I can use these to buy... If we go over into skins here... Prototype. His prototype skin from the concept art when he had shoes. And the 4x... We also got a fair few ones as well, I think mostly just because we, because of the Kickstarter, we just get some bonus skins as well. I never noticed it actually changes the, the license plate as well. We get, Doom Ranger, Hot Stuff, Cassopolis. Kind of seems garish to me. We'll just go with the standard 4x4, based of course on the 4x we started the game off in. Well, let's see if he's around here somewhere. He's usually frequenting this particular neck of the woods. There's one particular NPC I want to run into before we do anything major. Hold up. Oh yeah, and there's our imposter. There goes the imposter. That wasn't so bad, was it? You really have to remember to actually do that, to be perfectly honest. Just remember occasionally to pull out the infrared and just check these koala building looking fellas to see if there actually is a koala amongst them. Oh, there he is. Ahem. Oh my goodness gracious, guys, I can't believe it. They actually put me in the game. It's me this time next year.
When I was a lad, we never had any of these new fandangled future eggs with your able scopes and your returnerators and your bangerangs.
Such profound words. Yeah, think a lot more of the distinct collectibles around here require you to have some of the boomerangs available to you, which I don't, so I'm just gonna go back real quick to the boomerang shop and see what we can get.
G'day, son. Let me know if you need a hand, okay?
I obviously want to get the Camarang considering it's the cheapest. Probably a mistake, but what can you do? And I want to get the Frosty Rang, actually.
Bye, son.
Which of course has that same crystalline effect from the first game. And with this, I can go get that chromium orb from the first area, real quick. And thankfully, because of the wonders of PC technology, the area loads in before we even make it to the other side of the tunnel. I'm not sure if there's any areas in particular aside from this one which explain how the Frosty Rang works. I think this is just generally the Frosty Rang tutorial area. Yep, freeze enemies, put out fires, and can even create ice cubes in water! Excellent work, my boy! Still annoying that you have to still manually aim at the water in order to create the ice cubes in water, but it could be worse. Lovely. Okay, I think we're done here. Let's see, let's have a quick look. That's a croc, metal menace, explosive cargo. Next area we have to go to is Ranger Ken by the sounds of it. Ah yes, that classic Australian weather. Barely a cloud in the sky. They only frequent around obviously haunted areas, I suppose. As someone who has never been to Australia, I can only guesstimate going off of what this game tells me, considering it was made for Australians by Australians. Like, look at that. That just screams villains area to me. Oh yeah, and I completely forgot. There's a, you get an achievable by listening to this idiot again. From the first game.
It was amazing, I tell you. You ain't seen anything like it. No siree. A giant razorback pig. At least 20. No, make that 100.
That's a pretty big discretion.
He was all like,
discrepancy, Lenny.
And he was jumping all over the place. And the razorback was trying to squash him. But Ty stood his ground. The razorback powered toward Ty. Steam coming out of his nose. Sparks shooting from his hooves.
Yeah, I think this is supposedly a highly embellished version of the first boss from the first game, Bull.
Slammed into a termite mound. Not just any termite mound, though. This one was full of the rare and dangerous killer African mighty bitey ants.
In Australia, even.
All over the razorback, distracting him long enough for Ty to save the village full of orphans. It was an amazing sight.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that he's hyping me up so much.
There's a place in the deepest, darkest outback that I swore never to tell anyone about.
Sydney?
Never. It's a dangerous, treacherous place full of bad things. No one, except yours truly, has ever escaped and lived to tell the tale.
Oh, those internment camps which apparently didn't exist.
It all started when I was doing a stint of door-to-door salesmanship, selling special left-handed toupees.
Uh-huh.
Comb to the right, in case you're wondering. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, the world's largest fake crocodile. Yeah, I happened across it when I was passing.
Wow, it's just like me trying to come up with anecdotes and tangents on stream.
From paper mache and pieces of old gum boots, it is.
Wow.
It looks amazing. You have to check it out. You really do.
Crazy hasn't fallen apart yet by the sounds of it.
I broke the land speed record just the other day. Uh-huh. Did I tell you? Oh, and I didn't use a car. No way. I ran it. Woohoo! It was I going fast. It's a little trick I learned during my years as a door-to-door salesman in the Tibetan highlands.
It's called holding the X button.
Because they don't have any doors. They don't even have windows. In fact, they live in giant mushrooms and eat tofu all day.
Sounds like hell.
Anyways, back to the world record that I broke. What was it again? Oh yeah, the Curlong pie eating contest. Well, I chomped my way through 672 pies. I did.
Wow, you wouldn't be able to tell.
A dozen hot apple pies. No lies, it's the truth. Ain't it ironic?
Yeah, I guess that is kind of funny.
Any of you kids know much about our beautiful native animals? No?
Ah, yes. The 10,000 different species of deadly spiders.
Let me educate you in the ways of the Aussie bush. Okay, first up, the humble elephant isn't actually a native.
I don't think there actually is any elephants in this game.
No way, not at all. The elephant is actually from New Zealand. Yeah, they're part of a special breeding program that crossed a Tasmanian aardvark with a Swedish hippopotamus. No word of a lie, it's the truth. They ended up in Australia in the 12th century when traveling Italian merchants.
So I just listening to this sounds. It all sounds so stupid. It's kind of funny.
Since then, they've been a fixture of our great Aussie bush. You know what a platypus is, right? Well, get this. I always thought a platypus was a cross between a duck and a beaver.
You didn't think to ask Rex at all? I'm pretty sure I would have introduced you.
Web-footed mammals that lay eggs. How's that for weird,
That's actually true.
It's totally true. Cross my heart and hope to die. And get this. They use electricity to see underwater. Yeah, sort of like sonar, but different. The other crazy thing is that the males have a poison spur above their hind leg. Wow. Get stung by one of these and you are in deep trouble, I'll tell you. Ouch! So if you ever see a platypus, treat it with respect, okay?
The crazy thing is that, I think that's the only one of his quotes that actually has some truth to it. I don't remember specifically the whole sonar thing, but I think the poison spur thing is correct.
I remember one time I was helping my old buddy Ty on a secret mission. We were sneaking into one of Boss Cass's bases when we were surrounded by a gang of sharkadiles. What's a sharkadile, you ask? Well,
They don't exist thanks to Robotnik.
Critters like crocodiles, but with a huge fin on their backs and really bad breath.
Really sounds like the sort of thing you would come up with as a kid.
Rows of sharp, pointy teeth. Yeah, and they like to bite things. Woohoo!
You don't say.
Ty and me were surrounded, and these sharkadiles were looking mighty hungry. Well, I thought we were goners until I had a brilliant idea. An idea so incredible that it saved not only my life, but the life of Ty the Tasmanian tiger. You see, sometimes I have so many ideas that I occasionally lose my train of thought. But not this day. No way. I was switched on, baby.
You could even say he was locked in.
Now, where was I?
As opposed to right now.
The Burramudgee Talent Show. Yeah, so I won the grand prize by singing a song I composed all by myself.
I'm kind of surprised people just let him spout all this nonsense, to be perfectly honest.
In third place too, but I insisted they give those to the runners-up. Woohoo! Do I have a story to tell you?
It's also kind of crazy how many of these stories he actually just has.
And it's 100% true. Except for the bits I made up.
Except for the bits he made up.
True too. Just made up to protect the innocent, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I was working with Ty the Tasmanian tiger. A real covert job it was.
There was nothing covert about what we did in the first game. We just ran around the Australian wilderness beating up lizards.
In the pursuit of evil. Cass had us strapped on his giant robot, and it looked like
Yeah, this is recounting the events of the final boss.
Tie down. You know, stop him from blubbering like a baby, if you know what I mean. when I had an amazing idea. I used some old rubber bands, a length of sticky tape, and some pre-loved bamboo to make a doomerang. Using my incredible boomerang throwing skills, I managed to lob it at Cass, knocking him unconscious and saving the day.
Not at all touching where he got the explosives for the doomerang, as it explodes on impact.
The day after me. Tuesday, in fact.
Yep, just Tuesday.
Hey! Did you know that the koala bears aren't actually bears at all? No way! You know what they are? That's right! They're a type of tree-dwelling monkey that lives on gum leaves and corn chips. Woohoo! Amazing stuff, and it's all true. You see,
I think at the very least that's at least somewhat true about the koalas not actually being bears thing. At least I think.
First koala in 1937. She used to sell them from a corner store. Right
Used to sell koalas.
And you know what else? I have no idea where I am right now. Oh, is that the time already? I have to take medication.
And of course he's on meds.
Did you know that the color yellow is in fact a
I think he's
shade of
panicking
blue?
now.
It's all true. My Uncle Benny, who works at Dusty Burrows University in the color department, knows a guy who has a friend who knows these things.
Yes, and he has an uncle that also works at Nintendo.
Yellow was colorblind. Can you believe it? He also reckons that the color red is heavier than the color yellow, and that the color orange isn't really a color, but is in fact a fruit. I don't know, but just thinking about it makes my head hurt.
Yes, I think it's time you took a lie down, Lenny.
You may be wondering how I know so much, right? Well, the answer is simple, really. I'm actually a genius. Woo!
I just noticed that
You know the letter I?
that koala's hair at front doesn't match up, and their head is hollow.
I've invented heaps of stuff. I am so prolific, it scares me. In fact, I even invented the word prolific. No word of a lie. It's all true. I have a photographic memory, too. It's incredible. Of course, sometimes I forget to load the film. But that's another story. But,
Ah yes,
you know what
stretching the
makes
truth as well as metaphors.
Okay, the holes in Swiss cheese, the number 72, and rhubarb flavored ice cubes. All my ideas, baby. Yeah.
Sure, you have a patent on any of them?
It was a
Okay, that's all of them. Yeah, I couldn't help but notice with this koala in general, her head is hollow. Not sure how they didn't catch that, but I think we spent enough time lingering here. I think it's time we actually dealt with these crocs in the sewers. I had a feeling this was gonna go off, these parts were gonna go on longer than the parts for the first game did, just wasn't sure entirely as of how much. Alright, I think there's a button over here we can press in order to incite a panic attack. As that lowers these platforms in order to get up here and grab a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think I've actually said anything about the Camerang yet. That was a particular type of boomerang which is new to the game, which was added as part of the Kickstarter campaign, where essentially I don't think it actually does any damage, but if you hit someone with it, it'll freeze them in place. And I want to see if I can find anyone to use as an example here. Oh look, it's just a metal robot version of Ty here, who's just here with magnets for hands. Yeah. You go into Ty's view mode, or first person mode, with the Camerang, and it basically just acts as photo mode. You can even change all the colors here. Saturation, tune filters, blur, song 2, pixelation, if you're into that sort of thing. Polarizing to just... I wonder just how much we could just deep fry this. Hold up. You can just roll it like that, or wildly like that, and go into all sorts of stock poses. Yep, this basically just acts as the photo mode for the game. Enough about that. Oh yes, another instance of giving me a panic attack. This... just the music that plays alongside that, just single piano key. Along with the increasing ticking clock. I was never too fond of that. Never realized just how many chromium ores were in this area. And I think, yeah, there's a yellow one here. 100 opals, wow. I think we've expended as much as we can in just good old Buramaji, so I'm just gonna try and get a move on. Nom nom nom. Crazy thing is, I think I can actually glide from here in order to get that chromium orb. Let me try. I think I've done this before. Ooh, yeah. Definitely intended by the developers. May as well go see what's going on with the sewers in this case. Let's see what's up, Rangy Kid.
G'day, Ty. The Buramaji sewer workers have been complaining about crocs in the sewers. Now, I'd go down there and check it out myself, but I've got other pressing.
Yeah, I understand, Ken. Just leave it up to me to do your dirty work.
You little beauty.
Also kind of crazy that they just have the sewers, just have this massive open entrance to it like this. Like, surely there should be at the very least some sort of manhole cover, but no, it's just exposed sewer underneath this bridge. Next to this supposedly clean water source. Whoever did the planning permission on this needs to be fired. At the very least, the water doesn't seem to have too many contaminants in here, but it is quite dark. Oh yeah, this is our first instance of actually, actual combat for the first time since we got here. And a whole bunch of picture frames down here as well, which I'm gonna need to keep an eye out for. I think they're mostly just in these alcoves. You may have to pardon me if I miss any. It is fairly... oh! Lovely. I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised, considering it is... okay, I didn't notice it actually had that nice little, snapshotting effect. Oh no! Oh no! Get me out of this. So it works like a normal boomerang, just freezes enemies in place like that. I'm not sure there really is much of a utility outside of just being the camera mode, but I suppose it would be fun to just mess around with. Let's play around with it a little bit more. Come on. Okay, I suppose that works. Also, was never really the biggest fan of this music as a kid. I mean, it's nice and atmospheric now. It just gives off the sense of, yeah, I don't really don't want to spend too much time in here. It's just gloomy and it's a sewer. I think these signposts are supposed to be pointing towards the exits. Just want to check down here real quick to see if I haven't missed any invisible crates. Ah, there are invisible crates around here. Very easy to miss down here, as far as I recall. Alligators and crocodiles look the same. From what I recall, it's to do with their snouts. I'm fairly certain gators are the ones with the more flat nostrils, whereas crocodiles are a bit more slim in their snouts. Could have them mixed up. I know that was at least sort of the case. And who is that alone in the sewers in this disgusting place? What are you doing down here, sir? Next to this pile of sludge. Who is them? I'm guessing goober juice is some kind of alcohol. Well, I'll happily accept your opals, sir. Just, stay out of the sewer from now on, and I tried not sharing any of your goober juice with anyone, considering where it's probably been. Oh, yeah. One thing that I wasn't all too fond of in this game is the fact that they got rid of the meat pies as health pickups. I mean, sure, you can argue that meat pie in sewer isn't exactly the most appetizing thing, but I do sort of miss that little bit of personality from the first game. Let's just kind of wish that was something they brought back is all. Okay, I think I've been down this road before. Let's plunge into the depths. It's an interesting quandary, actually. Where exactly does this grate come out of? Ah, great, my radar's going absolutely haywire. Right, get over here, you. You thought you were clever, weren't you? I think just for this area in particular, really does warrant me picking up the Emperang, just so I don't have to come back in here again. Not sure which is which. Yeah, I'm sure it's something I'll have to look into, along with a dozen other things. Let's see, anything else in here? I think I've cleared out this particular corner. Let's get away from all these sludge piles. And all these old pipes, which does sort of lead me to quander. Or ponder, even. Oh, they actually have different lighting for different areas, I guess, to differentiate them. Like, here it's all white, over there it's all red, and here it's all green. Nice little bit of color coding that they used in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary for the library. But yeah, something that's sort of been bugging me is the fact that most sewer systems nowadays are still the same ones from, like, the 1800s. At least where I'm from. I mean, I sort of get why nobody wants to come down there and want to renovate them and all, just... You gotta wonder how long they'll actually hold for lack of a better word. It's the same pipes that have been in service for like 200 years at this point. Surely the erosion and corrosion must be an issue. Again, it's not exactly something that people might want to really think about. It's just seems kind of appropriate given where we are. But I think on that note, I think it's a good time to for us to finally get out of here and clean ourselves off. Okay, and this area is all yellow, just really adding to the dingy atmosphere. I think I got everything. Finally can get out of this literal poop hole.
You did a great job of clearing the sewers of all those crocs, mate.
Mate,
Yeah, can I get a shower?
Hollywood types at Min Min Plains making a film. but it looks like Cass has sent a welcoming party to shake things up. When you get a chance, go get rid of Cass's
so they also use the term hoons as well. That's a new one. So yeah, with all these opals, I think it's high time we try and buy some more stuff before we head on out, because I think we've gotten everything we can get here at this point. At this point in terms of missions, excuse me.
G'day, son. Let me know if you need
Yeah, can I use the showers real quick, Dad? I had to go into the sewers. I'll just pick up the flamerang.
buying that one, son. Bye, son.
And, yep, still has the same lighting effect from the first game and the same flame particle effects. I think it's just this game in general that's made me a sucker for particle effects on weapons. It's a real issue harkening back to my time in FF14 where I have to have at least one sort of weapon with particle effects on it, whether it's a relic weapon or... well, mostly relic weapons to be perfectly honest. Alright, let's finally get out of Baramaji. We have to cross this bridge to get... Alright, I think we, I think there was something else we needed to talk to Ken about. Oh wait, we needed to talk to Julius and Sergeant Bluey first. Eto bleh. I just noticed real quick here, just Trader Bob's 24 hours. Ranger Bob is not getting up at 1 in the morning just to service me a can of Coke.
Good work, mate. You caught the spy red-handed. We'll be taking this fellow in for questioning. Hopefully we'll get some inside info on what Cass has been up to.
And we get even more opals for our troubles. Yay!
Congratulations on a job well done, mate. Once we interrogate that spy, we might learn more about Cass's plans.
Alright. And we just get another 2,000 opals to our name. Lovely. I think I wanted to do that because I think we also unlocked something else from Ranger Ken for doing that. Also, yeah, this car never gets hauled up from this... I gotta wonder exactly whose car this was, and... it never actually gets moved from this position. It's just workers are there not really doing anything. Probably just having their 15th health and safety leisure.
G'day, Ken. What you doing?
Lecture.
I'm helping out Julius, mate. Apparently that spy you caught wasn't working alone.
Fair dinkum.
That's
Fair
right, mate.
dinkum, mate.
Looks like there's a whole mob of Cass's cronies with him Disguisatron thingamajiggies.
Ah yes, they're made in Cassopolis. Disguisatrons.
Town, but all over the southern rivers. I've not so much
Yeah.
about it, but if you could check out all the outskirts, I'd appreciate it.
No worries, mate. I'll see what I can do.
So yeah, now we have a long-term mission on our hands. We have to go out into the world and find as many spies as we can. Ken, you do not have Baramaji covered. I literally just discovered a spy right next to you. Yeah, you really gotta keep an eye out for all these koalas here. There's a whole bunch of them around. Those ones seem to be fine. Already beat up the one over here. What about you, good sir?
This is so humiliating and hard, and I think this suit is full of fleas. But I need the money.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame what most people are degraded to doing in order to get work nowadays. Oh, and there was you right over there. Once again, Ken does not have Baramaji covered. Those ones are fine. Just want to check up Upper Baramaji first before we move on. I keep saying before we move on, and just so much stuff to do around here. I think there was another one over here. Could be wrong. At least I remember there being one around here. Or at least I remember there just being a whole bunch of workers around here. There's another shop over there, but I don't think we can get much out of there yet. Mopoke. This radiates an energy I've felt before. Also nice that the infrared actually highlights opals as well. You gotta wonder what this was, to be perfectly honest, because it looks like the police have gotten involved, and this looks like some kind of diner. Not 100% certain though.
Good night, Ty.
Okay.
Hey there, Ty.
Yeah, there's a lot of music in this game which just has a lot of leitmotifs to the original Thai theme, and I think this one is generally one of my favorites.
Hello, Ty.
Just the most relaxed atmosphere you could ever possibly imagine from a game, I feel. Outside of something like Animal Crossing, I suppose. Anyways, I think we've done all we can here. Time to finally go out into the big wide world. Away from this fire van, which just drives around in circles for eternity. Don't think I haven't noticed. Also, what happened to that truck over there? I mean, it's not like the drivers around here really have much places to go, so... what exactly caused that particular accident? Because... like, you have to drive right into this waterfall, so... did they just not stop at this red light? Just kept right on going through the bushes into the waterfall, or... did they just... forget to brake on this hairpin turn? It's Dennis, obviously. I wasn't sure if these over here were picture frames or not. They were not. Alright, enough fooling around. Let's get out of here. I've spent like an hour in here already. Let's just go. Into the next loading zone by the looks of it. I think for going out here I want to equip the Flamerang. Just because I think it still does double damage. Southern Rivers. Loads so quickly compared to the original game, and there's the 4x.
Hey, Ty, need a ride? Just press the action button when you want to get in.
Thanks, Shaz.
So yeah, even back in 2004, this was technically a sort of open world game. Let's say that there's just multiple different areas you can go to via driving. The map so far isn't really all that open to us at the moment because you can see all these roadblocks, but there's a fair few places I think we can go. First and foremost being all the way up here. I was going to do some fun drifting skills. I think our first stop is around here. Help! The only thing worse than Boss Cass. Americans in my Australia. This won't do in the slightest. Oh, and I suppose ninjas as well. We should probably do something about them. It's kind of wild that my Flamerangs aren't destroying the obviously fake background sets. Like, these obviously must be made of like cardboard or at the very least plywood, and I'm just coming in here with effectively fireballs. Yeah, it's like you can see the backing from these. These are basically just plywood. Sorry. Well, there they go.
What's the big idea, man? You's just clobbered all our extras.
We just got a report that you're under attack by ninja billies.
Movie set, you silly boy. We're Beryl.
And Squeeber.
We are the biggest stars in Hollywood.
And we're making a movie down under.
I suppose I explained the accents.
Sorry about that. I thought you were under attack. Attack? Those ninjas are expensive stunts.
We're just gonna add. We're gonna have to add an extra $200,000 to the budget for this.
Go on.
Mate, Lake Barramudgee Refinery is still waiting for you to unload.
I suppose that explains why so many movies need reshoots nowadays. Anyways, we got only 2 levels we need to do next. We got Explosive Cargo, and we got Metal Menace. Metal Menace is closer, so we'll do that. Also, fairly soon you can do some fun drifts in this thing. Look at this, look at us go! And we also have, more boomerangs we can throw. These ones explode. Blaster rings, I think they're called. I think over here we get more instances of this guy's load zones. At least we did in the base game, where you saw some more Julius tips crop up. Here, though, these tunnels, which obviously we're here to hide the fact that we have load zones, here it's a bit more just... Now you can just come over here. And we get one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. It's tracks like these that make me just love this particular soundtrack so much. I'll just shut up so you can listen. The perfect music to listen to at a motorway service station. There's a lot of builders around this particular table. A suspicious amount. Yeah, it really feels kind of weird at this point that the infrared basically becomes our default. It really just feels like a direct upgrade from the boomerang at this point. Longer range and the ability to just see suspicious individuals. And then again, as if the last game was any indication, longer range isn't necessarily better, because, of course, you're left unarmed if you miss for longer. Anyways, let's go in here into what is technically the first level. Or second level, depending on how you want to look at it. Outback Oasis. In the original game, you didn't necessarily get this much presentation. It was just... You entered into this one area with no real indication as to what it was, aside from a map change. There's a fair bit of stuff here which we can't get yet, like obviously this wall here. We need something stronger to knock down, but we'll just see how much we can get done here for the time being. This is another track that I also really like. It's just... In the soundtrack, this is called Thai Theme in B. Obviously referencing the musical notes of the same name, and another one of those crystals. It really feels like one of those areas where we really need to come back at some point. Plus, I just noticed that grind rail up there. Is there any way I can get up there, given what's around here? Obviously, since we don't have our full arsenal at this point, it doesn't really matter because we can always come back, but I gotta wonder. I think it's more so the case for some this means of us being up there. Ah, there we go. I had a feeling there was something. Go over here and rescue another dear Bilby, which I think are still technically close family relations, considering we've been missing our parents for the past 10 years or so. It's kind of awkward. I hate to imagine how big the table must be for the various Christmas celebrations, as I'm pretty sure Christmas is canon to the Thai universe. Not sure why it would be. Wouldn't be. So yeah, a whole bunch of stuff here we can't access as of yet, so we'll just go as far as we can and try to pick up as much stuff as we can along the way. Ah. You gotta keep your wits about you. It's kind of weird that this platform is here. It really sort of indicates that there should be something here, yet is there? Doesn't look like it. No, I'm sure it'll be fine. Look at all these wallabies just hopping around here next to these park benches. I'd hate to be the guy who has to come in here and pick everything up, because you gotta remember, this is still Australia. Meaning we still get that sweltering Australian heat. Okay, so it's not like in the first game where Flamerangs can one-shot Blue Tongues. Good to know. I guess I sort of realized they messed up when they made the Flamerang a direct upgrade from the standard Boomerang. Ah yes, this whole big area. I'm fairly certain there's a whole bunch of collectibles you can get around here, though I'm fairly certain there's also barracudas in the water as well. I think the main thing is here, there's a particular invisible platform somewhere around here, which you're going to need to jump on in order to get into the middle right there. But first, I want to deal with these fellas right over here. Looking like 1950s greasers. Get out of here. Let's see. Invisible platform is on the other side. Yeah, I can see it. You don't fool me, game. I don't need to have the infraring in order to see platforms like that. The nice thing is that even though I'm at low health, I can just dive into the water to get it all back. Still kind of feel that may have been a little bit of an oversight on the developer's part. Just the fact that you can just heal by going underwater sort of eliminates a lot of the threats. But I've also sworn under one of these was a passageway of some sort. I think it might have been under here. Obviously, you don't want to mess around with the barracudas too much. Wait, you should probably hit where I am going to be as opposed to where I am, you fools. You also have the same idle poses from the first game as well. Right, I think the game wants me to go that way, but first I want to go and check out some more stuff around here. I want to see the optional stuff. I want to explore. I want to get the most out of this map. Because this is technically, I want to say, the equivalent of walk in the park, though obviously you don't get any water slides in here. Oh, these red things gems. These are opals. They act as the currency in this game. You collect them by completing missions, beating up bad guys. I think we're getting to that point where everybody's getting ready for bed, because you can probably hear the plumbing. If you're wondering what that tapping noise is. I'm not sure you can hear it from here, but well, we're here in this area with this also fairly unnerving soundtrack. Lucky I brought the Flamerang for this, huh? And it just loops around back there. Okay, let's see what we can do here, because alright, I think for this we're gonna need the Lasso-rang, or the Lash-rang. I think at the very least we can get some mileage out of here, because of course, there's an imposter. Which I could just completely dispatch using my sniper rifle. Looks to be a bilby over there. And a whole There's a whole bunch of stuff down here, including Uber frills. And these fun platforms would just appear and disappear at will. I wouldn't say these things are necessarily all that much of an issue. You can still fit on the platform. This isn't really an issue, fellas. Yeah, I think if we want to get all the invisible crates down there, we're gonna need to go and fight. Or at the very least be extra sneaky, because I don't think we have exactly what it takes in order to take on Uber frills at this point. They require very much of the most powerful of endgame weaponry, and I awoke them almost immediately. Wonderful. Okay. I'm gonna say, are you guys just gonna sit there and intimidate me? It looks like it. Can they not get into this? They're just sitting there riveting. You know, as I think I got all the ones I got out of here, so if you excuse me, fellas, it was nice meeting you, but I gotta fly. And they immediately fall back to sleep. Wonderful. I'm just gonna grab that. And immediately aggro's all of them. I don't think I'm gonna be quite so fortunate here, so, later. I love how I just jump in the flower and immediately they all fall asleep. It's like, okay, you win, I give up. Can I get that? Yes, I can get that from here. Can I get you from here? Yes, I can. I'll pick up, and the last one I don't think I can get from here. As I think it requires me to go all the way over there, which I think requires the Lasharang. Unless... No, I think in order to get some more stuff out of here, you need the Lasharang, which I don't have on me at this point. Probably gonna have to... Oh, you can grind on these. I didn't know that. I mean, not that it really helps me at this moment in time. Okay, that's one. That's two. Grab your opals and catch you later. And they just immediately fall back asleep. I gotta admit, even though these guys are big tough brutes, they aren't exactly the smartest. Then again, neither am I. I think I've gotten enough mileage out of this place. We're just gonna have to leave for the time being, I think. There'll be ample opportunity for us to come back and grab all this stuff in the future, I think, but not right now. Can I please grab onto this ladder game? Thank you. Okie doke. We'll go out the other exit this way. And finally be done with this unnerving music. Okay, we just come out the other side of... Okay. So it really does loop back around. Excuse me. Don't mind me. Coming through. Okay, so... Main objective is this way, I think. Sniffle, sniffle. It's gonna be nice, honestly, seeing the other side of this cold. Also fairly certain there's another platforming jump for me to do here. Also a nice little detail, which I do like about the HD remake, is that you do actually get a total percentage for each area. So only 64% done with Baramuji Town. Obviously have mostly picture frames to go. Most of them I think are still in the sewers. We're already 50% complete with Outback Oasis. I mean, there's one Bilby, one Imposter. I like the fact that it actually still allows... It actually shows you the imposters, because I recall those being rather annoying to keep track of in the base game, because I don't think it actually had the ability to track each area in particular. It's more just sort of a total percentage, so you're just left wondering which area has all the stuff that I missed. Guess I'll never know. Really need to get the timing on those right. Bing bong, bingly bungly boo. It's kind of a shame there isn't really anything upgrade-wise on hand that you can... Nailed it. There isn't really anything you can do to sort of help you with these platform stuff as opposed to just getting the timing right. Like now. Like now. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Just remember that getting a little bit egregious later on in the game. In certain sections. Nom nom nom. I have noticed at the very least at this point in the game, it is fairly easy to just get a whole bunch of opals on hand, which is nice. Oh yeah, it's the same torches from Bridge on the River Ty. Remember? Now this is looking decidedly more trading ground-ish. Even with these funny-looking skull things that just push you off the ledge. Can I actually... Oh. Okay, I don't think you can actually use this to get up. That's a trick. You're supposed to go this way, I think. Gotcha. I'll let you go first. There we go. And then you have to jump over this. It's still fairly straightforward at this point in the game. It's just... These particular sorts of challenges do come back in the future and are a fair bit tougher from what I recall. Sort of near the very end, at the very least. I think there's another collectible around here. Just... Oh, 400. That's not bad at all. I think that's all there is around here so far. You just get to beat up more bats, which is always fun. As the lock-on betrays me. Oh yeah, I forgot there was also a combo multiplier for the opals as well, in case, so it sort of incentivizes you to sort of go real sort of guns blaze or rangs blazing on a lot of the enemies and just defeat as many as you can in as short a time as possible. Even here they have a park bench after all that, just... What do they expect? How many people do they expect to come through here like it's some kind of tourist attraction? Anyways, here's the training grounds.
I need you to test out the combat effectiveness of my latest invention. No worries.
My latest invention ever! Oh, nice. Chainsaws. Oh yeah, just casually have chainsaws just cropping up out of the ground in order to defeat you. That's nice. Oh yeah, and these cannon things, which I recall doing a surprising amount of damage. They may look small, but they're devastating. Thankfully, I can just blast from a distance. Come on. Bam bam. bam, bam. Kind of feel these would be sort of temperamental. You know what, let's try out the Flamerang, honestly. Why not? Alright, here we are. You remember the teaser from the first game? The robot duplicates of Ty? Well, here they are. Just as the mini... just appearing in multiples as a mini-boss. I think this is the only time they appear as well. They sort of go down like chumps.
Stone the crows, mate. Something big and scary has been seen around Steel Springs. It's given the locals the heebie-jeebies, and they want you to check
The
it out
heebie-jeebies.
right now. Sounds like Boss Cass is doing, so be careful.
Will do. Also, I think you can re-challenge this for more opals, but I just want to check real quick. Oh yeah, leaderboards. Which don't really mean anything at this point. Okay, exit level. I want to save game first and foremost, as we have gotten a fair ways in. Already 16%. Exit level. I was thinking it would be quicker to just drive all the way there from here. It's kind of a shame that exit level just takes you straight to Baramudji, though, but it is what it is. It also means it resets all the opals, in case you wanted to use this as an opportunity to grind, which I'm not going to do, because there is a more effective means of grinding opals in this game, meaning you don't have to just constantly scrounge around Baramudji every time you load it up. There is definitely a particular boomerang I want to get from the Rang shop, though.
Let me know if you need a hand, okay?
I want to use this, the Lasharang.
Bye, son.
The Lasharang is very much like the Lasarang from the first game. No idea how it works, where you just, I want to get up on this rooftop in order to showcase. You got a little bit of an elastic rope attached to it, like so. No idea how it still operates as a boomerang, but it is what it is. Okay, so you go up from that rooftop first. Gotcha. At least that's how you normally do it. But in any case, you see all these flying hoop things hovering around like it's Rayman. Use the Lasharang to cling onto them. And also, if you press the Y button, or the interact button, and hold up and down on the control stick, you can adjust the length, which is kind of a sort of neat little detail I found out as a kid. Not 100% convinced on the application, but it is still a nice little tidbit to keep in mind. Okie doke. I think, given the timing, nice view for a game in 2000. Yeah, I do at the very least appreciate all the the graphical enhancements they did make for the this particular port. Anyways, explosive cargo and Petchy. Probably not gonna worry about all the other collectibles we haven't gotten yet at Steel Springs for the time being. I'm just gonna focus on story stuff. We'll just... Obviously this Patchy thing sounds like a boss, so I think we'll just stop once we've defeated this Patchy. But first off, I want to deal with the explosive cargo. It does feel at the very least have made pretty decent timing at the very least, outside of just all the fooling around I did in Baramudji, which, I suppose, given this is the first part in our introduction to that particular area of the game, kind of feels like a given. Alright, I forgot. Also need to stop by here real quick, because this is also GTA, yeah. Yeah.
I'm Chockers and I have the best kart racing tracks
And
in
we
town.
got our first view of a technically hedgehog character in this universe. Let's go into this race, see how well we do. As, yeah, this was a big major thing that they wanted you to go for in this game. Kart racing. I will do my very best. The controls are fairly simple. You just R button to accelerate, A button to go into drift, X button to use an item, and it's got all the sort of Mario Kart creature comforts. Oh yeah, and there's a shortcut over here you can take. I remember this. I think I just died on my own ice bomb. Oh yeah, there's another shortcut over here. You can sort of tell this was the first track just by how egregious all of the shortcuts are. Feels kind of weird to me, in all honesty, the fact that they really made a big deal out of this whole kart racing thing. I guess because, well, Adventure 2 did it as well. May as well shove kart racing in here as well. Weird thing is, I think I actually prefer this to the kart racing in Adventure 2, to be perfectly honest. Just controls feel much less slippery, if anything. Generally just feels like it wasn't an afterthought. Plus it's pretty fun to boot. Yeah, I think for completion's sake, you do have to go for all the kart races, but at the very least, they're pretty fun. At the very least, harmless. Especially compared to how they were initially handled in the initial release of the third game, from what I have been led to believe and understand. Almost missed the shortcut there. Also, fairly certain the item balancing isn't all that great compared to Mario Kart, where you still get some fairly good items at the start. Is the kart racing better than Sonic Team Racing? I haven't played Sonic Team Racing, so I wouldn't know for certain. Yeah, obviously leaderboards are hacked. Also get a fair few good opals for that, so naturally speaking, I think that's probably your best breadwinner up to this point in the game. For now, though, I need to go off and deal with some unstable dynamite. As well as some hooligan bikers. Already know for certain there's an imposter around here. There you go. Diddy Kong racing with guns. Lake Barramundi certainly doesn't look like a lake. Well, I suppose it is Australia, just it's all dried up. The land's all dry and filled with reeds. And bones. And whatever these roots are. Again, this is another loading zone, loading up a very, very, small area here by the looks of it. Hey, fella.
It's true, you actually turned up.
Of course, I was the only one dumb enough to take out this task.
Keep close by. So we need
Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to you as well.
Pick 'em up, then take 'em to the dispensary area at Deadly Peak. Well, good luck finding a pilot.
Good luck finding a pilot.
Seriously, trust me, you don't want to hit anything out there.
I love how he slowly backs up into the reeds.
No worries.
Okay, and also another gameplay star which we have to go along with. A helicopter. It's fairly simple, you just hold the A button to keep it up in the air. Then you just have to fly around and grab up fuel and eventually dynamite. I'm not sure whether or not you actually need to use the boomerang on anything, but I suppose it's nice as just a placebo thing. Gotta love those stock sound effects. Yeah, they weren't exactly kidding about this being Danger Gully, the fact they just have a whole bunch of flamethrowers out here. It's gonna be mighty irresponsible as well, considering how notorious this place is for bushfires. I mean, so Australia in general, just... You have this country which is notorious for having a whole bunch of wildfires which could easily break out, and you make do by just installing all random flamethrowers everywhere. Good thinking, is all I'll say. Looks like we're coming up on the dynamite. As we pick up the dynamite, the door's open, and let's go this way. Not really sure we have a proper map at this point, just have to ensure we'd hit anything, though I'm not entirely certain this is whether or not you're properly penalized or not. Ah yes, just casually fly through the flamethrowers with the dynamite. I can see why nobody wanted to take up this job. Want to at least pick up the fuel. Also in close proximity to all these flamethrowers. Just highly flammable kerosene. Again, I can see why nobody wanted to take up this job. Ah yes, this is working as intended. And, okay, unstable dynamite goes here.
Great flying there, mate. Now we know who to call next time we have another ridiculously dangerous job to do.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
Ty, mate, you have to get over to Steel Springs right away. There's something
Oh.
big and scary menacing the locals.
Something big and scary menacing the locals. Yep, I think, yeah, that's the only thing we have left on our list for the time being, so, guess we'll go check it out. I think I want to equip the flamerang for this. No particular reason. As I'm fairly certain at this point, it doesn't really matter which boomerang we use. Okie doke, I think... Yeah. Camera. I'm too used to hold timers where your camera also dictates where you go. Yeah, we need to head over here first, where there is also another racetrack we can do beforehand. I'm sure the peep denizens of Steely Springs can wait. We have a track to tear up. Let's do it to it. I love this track. Take paper, much appreciated. For now, though, we've got a track to tear up. This one is an oval. You know, just in case you were wondering what Mario Kart might look like with NASCAR. This is basically the equivalent to that one baby circuit from, Mario Kart Double Dash. At least I remember it from Double Dash. Where it's basically just one big corner. Other than that, they just casually have tortoises wandering the track as well. Honestly, I think just one of the main reasons I wanted to stream this game in the first place, aside from it being 20 years old and something I grew up with, was just how much personality is behind this game. To its art style, to its humor, to a lot of the just general areas. It just feels very... It really just feels like this game has a personality. He knows what it is, knows who it is. And I really do quite respect it for that. Double Dash, the only game we play with 2 characters. Ah. I think I get what you mean, Dennis. You can sort of tell this is the most simplistic track. Honestly, a fair few of the tracks in this game do sort of remind me of Star Wars Pod Racer for some reason. Maybe it's just I'm kind of nostalgic for it because I played a little bit of it on the PC, from what I recall. At the very least, I remember my dad having it. Then again, I've heard mixed things about Double Dash. Yep, obviously, act once again. Alright, enough fooling around, let's go see what's up with Steely Springs. It's nice as well as that once you actually clear it out, the flags are replaced with trophies. As you can see on the map here. Okie doke. So I have to go down here, and Steely Springs is right through here by the sounds of it. Let's go. Ooh, it's quite cozy in here. Leading straight into the void. I can only guess that the thing harassing Steely Springs is the Four Kings, so let's go meet them. Oh, hey, Fluffy.
Well, well. If it isn't my favorite Tasmanian tiger.
Wow, you made the entire skybox turn red. You turned up the fog values.
A girl's gotta earn a living.
When are you gonna give it up? You know you can do better than Cass.
You really think so?
I know so. He's mean, arrogant, selfish, conceited, and a bully.
Yeah, but the money's good.
Seems kind of weird that Ty seems so concerned about wanting to get Fluffy on side. Also, yeah, just active volcanoes in the background. That seems rather safe, just having a town right next to those.
Sick and patchy.
Alright, first boss, Patchy. He's fairly simple, arguably more so than Bull. All you really have to do is just hit the glowing parts. Starts off with the head. There we go, and then you knock it off and there's actually a sort of dinosaur under it. Next he goes to soup up its tail, and that becomes his next weak point. I think I'm gonna need the Infra rank for this, just for the range. As I'm oh yeah, and he also causes shockwaves, which do a cool ripple effect to the ground. Don't mind me, just wandering over here to get a health pickup. Eep. Let me just grab this real quick. There we go. There we go. Now we are on equal terms. Get back here, you. What exactly was the hitbox on that? I am not sure. I think the Mega Rank does make quick work of this. But of course I don't have the Mega Rank. Also, the range on that is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go and quickly find some more health pickups. Please don't come this way. Please tell me there's more than one picnic basket in this area. Okay, there is more than one picnic basket. Don't come this way! No! Yeah, if this was hardcore mode, that would be it for me. But, thankfully, it is not. A little bit embarrassing, I must say, but I think this is arguably the hardest fight in the game for one particular reason when it comes to hardcore mode. I say this is the easiest game in the series to hardcore mode, but this is definitely the hardest fight, or at least the one you have to worry about the most. Hold still, you devil. Okay, I think you can just jump. Yeah, that seems to work. Get over here, you. Okay, so you can just hit him in the middle of his attack cycle. Gotcha. Gotcha, there we go. And he goes on to his third phase.
Don't let that little orange rat get you down.
And he has missile launchers, I guess. And it feels like a bit of a crapshoot as to when you can actually hit them or not. Just, guess just keep throwing, it'll work eventually. That was, weirdly enough, the quickest of the phases. Yeah, he really is just a dinosaur underneath all that.
Well, I certainly didn't expect that to happen.
Well, that was certainly a thing.
Well played, Rat. You won this one. But next time, you won't be so
This time I'll let you go, but the next time we meet, you won't be so lucky.
Good work, Ty. You stopped Fluffy and Cass from terrorizing the kind folk of Steel Springs.
That bird-brain Cass will stop at nothing to hinder us.
Oi! Watch who you call a bird brain first.
I'm sure he meant it as a compliment. Boss Cass has such a long...
Yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of funny.
Obviously a sign of great intelligence.
Oh, good save there, Dennis.
Now that
Yeah, that's why we made you the leader, or at least the face.
No worries.
Meanwhile, in Cassopolis, which I think we were originally supposed to go to in the original plan for this game.
Did you get it?
It wasn't easy. But here it is.
It's smaller than I imagined.
That's what she said.
The grid processor. Very good.
Professor Carlos, I got what you wanted. Now, can I see a demonstration of the machine?
It is feasible.
Ah yes, Julius's uncle. Can't wait to see how much of a big deal they make of him in the next game.
Activate the machine.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt.
I don't care what part of the universe you're from.
What just happened?
It appears that I still need one more component.
Whatever you need, get it. I want the machine fully
The Machine trademark. I love how it's capitalized.
I will have the power to rule not just Cassopolis, but the entire world.
Then the universe, then the multiverse, then who knows? Maybe that will be enough.
Bruno's gotten himself into a pickle. He went climbing in Frillneck Forest but got stuck. Now he needs a helping hand.
Yeah, I think for now that's gonna do it for me. Just like with when I did the Thai games last time, I feel just stopping at every boss is a fairly good stopping point, so tune in next time where hopefully we'll have gotten over this cold and we'll get down to the business of whatever Boss Cass is planning with his The Machine trademark. But until then, thank you for tuning in. I'm probably gonna go to bed because I have work tomorrow, and Happy New Year, by the way. The next stream will be taking place in the new year, so look forward to that. Thanks for tuning in once again. Thank you once again for helping me get to 400 subscribers. Hopefully we can get to double that at the same time next year. Here's hoping. Take care. Bye-bye.